Elf ships on our shore. Elf workers taking your trades. Workers who don't sleep, don't tire, don't age.
They took her jobs! Howdy y'all, I'm Adam, a Renaissance nerd. Welcome, my lords and ladies, to Rings of Power Episode 4 review. Oh wow. Well, we got one good thing. There were no dirty hippies in this episode. We were spared an hour of dirty hippies, but I say that, and next week, it's going to be double down dirty. That's what it's going to be. Oh, no. I'm going to pay for it next week. I know it. Oh, what can I say? This episode can be described in a couple of ways. A narrative mess filled with word salad storytelling that really moves us nowhere. They resolved nothing, really. They moved it an inch. And they revealed one mystery box, but I call it a narrative mess because I can't even discern what the A plot, the B plot, the C plot through G plot is. That's the problem. I've said this for a couple of weeks now. This show was doomed to fail simply because of all these lame-ass characters they've got going on. They have too many story plots. I was hoping I could do what I did last week and just do chunks of each of the episode, break it down to each plot. It's impossible with this episode. The direction, the narrative, the storytelling, it's so bad. It leaps back and forth so quickly. I cannot discern what is an A plot or a B plot. I don't know if A plot is Galadriel, warrior princess, because she's gone for the first half of the episode, but then comes back strong in the second one, scowl and all. And then, or is it the Mithril mystery box reveal? I don't know. It's definitely not Arendir because he's in it for all of 5 minutes and he barely speaks. Partial cleavage, Bronwyn baby mama, she is in it for a second too. Maybe badass teenage Theo is a C plot. Isildur and Big Tits McGee's sister. I don't know. You understand? There is so much shit in this episode. It's a tempest. It's a tempest of crap swirling around, and you can't tell where they all leads. And maybe a couple of them string together, and a couple of don't. Oh my goodness. Oh, anyway. Well, let's break it down. And if you enjoy this video, please join us Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right back here on this channel for This Is Mordor Country, where the panel and I will do an even deeper dive into what is wrong with this episode. And oh boy, there is a lot wrong.
I believe the man you hold in your dungeons is no common brawler, but the lost heir in exile to the throne of the Southlands.
And I suppose Elendil here is a runic emperor.
It's a petty lord, actually.
His people are scattered.
Oh, you shut up, white boy. You shut up and know your place. You just stand back. Whammons of power are talking. You shut up. We're not at that yet. That's a couple minutes away. But I felt it was the perfect way to start this for the simple fact Elendil is done so dirty in this episode. He's barely in it, but his storyline is kind of in it. Things that he should be saying and doing are kind of in it, but he isn't. We'll get back to that throughout the review. But it sets the tone. This sets the tone for this episode. Where do we start? We start at the beginning. It's naming day for babies. You got Mariel kissing babies, naming babies. I guess, I feel like they've taken that from something else, but I can't quite put my finger on it. It's ridiculous and stupid. And as she's walking around, first of all, they make sure to give you a nice gratuitous shot of how diverse Numenor is. Yeah, it's so diverse. I mean, it could make sense, but But the fact that they just blatantly do it, and there's a lot of blatant shit in this episode, but they make sure to give you the wide shot of Numenor's diverse women's. Everything starts to shake. Mariel tries to pass it off. Oh, don't worry. Even the island shrugs and stretches sometimes. It's all right. But of course, it's not all right. As it continues shaking, she has to walk out to the balcony, and oh my God, here comes the water! The island is sinking! Are we here already? No, we're not. It turns out to be a nightmare. She wakes up, and we'll actually get the reason she has her nightmare. It's one of the few answers we get, but it's an answer shrouded in more mystery box bullshit. Cut! Get used to that. There are plenty of cuts in this. The direction of this show, this episode, it's outstandingly bad. Every time you sort of feel momentum in a scene, cut to something else. That usually is so boring and bland that it's terrible. Well, the whole thing is boring and bland and terrible. Cut! We're in the square. We're in the square where they took our jobs. The guy who Sauron beat up last week is now screaming, elves are going to take your jobs. This is stupid in so many ways because within the show, they attempt to convince you that they explain why the Númenóreans hate the elves in this episode. Yet they really don't. They don't. They don't actually explain it. At the same time, remember I just said blatant stuff? Well, blatantly, oh, I don't know, is this an immigration allegory? Because we all know that the professor, Tolkien, hated allegory. But, oh, they're coming in. People of something else that don't look like us are coming in to take our jobs and take our women. Okay, I added the women part, but you get the drift. The not so subtle. Be careful of people who don't look like you. If you're angry at them, you're a racist. That kind of shit. It's right there. They're because they're trying to make the Númenóreans into a bunch of fascist racists. And they're gonna get their due. Don't you worry, they'll get their due. Either way, it's a ridiculous scene. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous to the point where Big Tits McGee's sister's watching it going, oh no, what am I gonna do? But, well, hey, Big Tits Sister McGee, how you doing? We cut to Pharazôn glad-handing people in an alleyway somewhere. Up comes a young man who we quickly learn is his son to tell him there's a problem out there. Oh, what's so big a deal? You gotta bother me. Oh, it's a problem. Well, my son, you need to calm down. I will handle this. I'll show you how a real leader acts. Pharazôn goes out there, quells the crowd of their elf hate, reminds them that the queen will do all right. She is dealing with the elf right now. Don't you worry. We will not return to the ways of her father, where we were bowing and scraping to elves and blah, 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 blah. We are strong. We are Númenor! Big smile. Big smile. Big smile. Meanwhile, as I said, Big Tit Sister McGee is watching there going, oh no, I don't like this. But then she bumps into somebody. Oh, it's Pharazôn Jr. Pharazôn Jr. hits on her, rightfully so. Nothing wrong with hitting on Big Tits McGee. She seems to rebuff him, but as she's summoned to do her STEM work, she turns around, gives him the look back, and hey, the look back. Yeah, that's that dude. Dude, you're in. There's interest. You go for it, young man, because we need that CW romance that never existed in Tolkien to begin with characters that aren't real. We need that. Cut! We are in the audience hall. Queen Regent Tamariel, or Mariel, she's giving it to... not giving it. No, she's not. She's lecturing Galadriel warrior princess. You're going to be put on a ship first thing tomorrow morning and you're gone. You're out of here. But Galadriel warrior princess favoring us with, I think, scowl number 3. Maybe we might get a 4th and 5th type of scowl. I think it's scowl number 3. It might be 2. It's hard to tell the difference. It might be scowl 2, but I'm going to go with scowl number 3. Favoring her with scowl number 3 tries to say, no, there's a danger. You must let Halbrand Sauron out of prison because he's He's the once and future king of the South. He's going to unite. He needs to unite his people so we can join together to fight Sauron. Sauron is the ancient enemy. Sauron must be beaten. We must all join together. Fulfill your duty. Rejoin the elves and bow at my feet because I am Galadriel, warrior princess. Mariel, she just goes, yeah, sure. And then the clip I showed you. He's a king. Oh, Elendil, yeah, you're a king too. No, you're not. And then let's just beat up. And Elendil's just like, oh. I feel sorry for it. He's done so dirty. It's just basically, you shut up. That look, you shut up, white boy. You shut the hell up. You don't get to talk. We're whammons. We're talking. He looks so defeated. He looks so defeated. It's sad. And then basically, Mariel rebuffs Galadriel. But Galadriel, the close up, she's going, and she turns on her. She turns on her and goes, You other women of color, I don't like you. There is a... Well, here, I'll play it. I'm going to play the clip. And finally, Mariel does the right goddamn thing.
Grasping for a handhold in a tempest.
There is a tempest in me. It swept me to this island for a reason. And it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Yes! Finally, somebody put her in the freaking cage! I love it! There's a tempest in me. That tempest swept you into prison, you dumb bitch. Oh, finally someone exercises power over this insufferable bitch. And here's the funny thing. She's in prison here. We'll talk about the Tempest line in a moment. She's in prison. Halron, maybe we'll call him Halron for now on. Halron is there. And Halron says, oh, what'd you do? Get in a bar fight? She just shoots him a dirty look. He's just sitting there. But here's the thing. She is never humbled. Galadriel, warrior princess, continues to be an insufferable bitch this entire episode. She's put in prison and she still isn't humbled. She doesn't learn any lessons. And that speech, that dialogue, granted, we all made fun of it, that it was Sauron that put the tempest in her after they did the dirty. What? It's obviously not. But still, this overacting, overly dramatic dialogue to try and stir us. And frankly, I don't think they intended this to be funny. Her to then be slammed the door. I don't think they intended that. I think they intended to be, oh no, she's in jail. No, we're all laughing because she's in jail. Because she's an insufferable bitch who doesn't learn a goddamn thing and doesn't evolve at all. Now we get to useless stories, useless plots. Plots that really aren't going anywhere. Plots that don't move anything along. Plots that are completely and utterly meaningless. Because they don't actually either serve the real story of a character or they involve characters that aren't really part of Tolkien's lore. What am I talking about? First up, Isildur. Isildur is still in Númenórean Coast Guard school. Yay, he got back in. He went back. No, he doesn't want to be there. Basically looking off at the coastline, hearing the West call to him, because apparently that's what it is. The West is calling to him. He purposefully lets go of a tack line. Everything really gets effed up, his buddies, and he stop it, but then he takes the blame. Says it was my fault. Jason Momoa, the sea is always right stand-in, kicks everybody off. Both Isildur and his buddies, you're done. You're done. You're not going to be Númenórean Coast Guards ever. Get off my ship. Cut to the alleyway where Isildur and his buddies now are having a tussle because the bigger one, he's unhappy. He hates that Isildur gets whatever he wants, has everything handed to him, while he always wanted to be a Númenórean Coast Guard. It was his dream. It was his dream to sail those seas and circular patterns around the island. But Isildur never wanted it, but now he's ruined it for everybody. He's selfish and win, and CW win. They scuffle. Isildur's sad. Cut to Arendir, still imprisoned by the orcs. The orcs are sad because their guy, the one I think that Arendir stabbed in the neck with a branch last week, he's dying. And they don't want to, they want to kill him, but they can't because Adar wants him alive. And here comes Adar. Adar comes in, oh look, it's an elf. Surprise, it's an elf with cauliflower ear. An elf with cauliflower ear comes in, puts his hand on the orc. Oh, the orc looks up at him lovingly, and then Adar stabs him to put him out of his misery. Adar's, oh, I love you. I love you so much. Adar turns over. They have a conversation about where Arendir came from. A conversation that's absolutely meaningless between two characters that don't exist in Tolkien's lore. This is the problem with this show. This doesn't even have to happen. This is pointless. It's meaningless. It's trying to make Arendir look like he's stoic and cool. You have Ismail Cruz-Cordova muttering his lines with his same expression that doesn't ever change. The dude has less expressions than Galadriel Warrior Princess Morfydd Clark. That's the lack of emotion this guy's able to show. He's stoic. No, he's boring. Arendir they finish their conversation about where Arendir came from and how Adar remembers it. Stirring. And then Adar says, all right, you can go. You can go. Go deliver my message to the people who are hanging out in the watchtower. Tell them, serve me or die. That's basically it. There's a new era coming and they need to be a part of it. Blah, 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 blah. He lets him go. Oh, now we cut to the watchtower and baby mama Bronwyn.
We'll have to cut rations again.
You're not cutting my rations. Who gave you the right to decide?
Everyone who decided to come to this tower, Waldrick, including you.
What do we eat?
Find a way.
How?
I don't know.
Oh, plain enough to see that.
I'm in charge because everybody followed me here. Yeah. Oh, shut up, you annoying twit. The following conversation shows where they start asking her, what are we going to do about food? What are we going to do about defense? What are we going to do about this, that? She has no answers. I don't have an answer yet. I don't know what to do. Yeah, but I'm the leader. I'm the activist leader. You're going to follow what I say. Shut up, bitch. Just shut up. You are annoying. All you want to do is go F your elf boyfriend, baby daddy. It's true. It's true. Meanwhile, as they're having the conversation, badass teenage mustache Theo comes up. He interjects saying we could go back to the town during the day. There's some storehouses we can get into. We can take some stuff. That's actually a good idea. If you go during the day, you get in and out pretty quickly. Orcs aren't going to get you. Go with enough people. You could probably get in and out pretty quick. No, you shut up, young man. Powerful women of color is talking. You shut up. Patriarchy bad. Bronwyn shuts him down hard. But Theo decides to go anyway. Theo and racist in training go back to town to raid supplies. And they're successful. They get a cart full of shit. But then, because plot demands it, essentially, that's enough. They've got enough there. Because you go back inside now. Theo's going to say, I'm going to go check the tavern. Racist in training. Wait, I'm a pussy. I don't want to go in. No, actually, no, it's smart. Let's get the hell out of here. We are lucky. We got what we need. Let's go. Theo, no, I'm going to go in there because I'm a badass because he's got his hidden hilt dagger sword thing. Goes in there, finds one bag of grain that he starts scooping up off the ground to fill up again. You could have got away clean. No, plot needs Theo to be in trouble. Plot needs Theo to be in trouble so that later on, other people can look cool and look stupid at the same time. Theo immediately finds an orc in there. Turns out the orcs are still in the village. Why are they still in the village? Coming in, you saw that they slaughtered everything. They took the cattle, they left things, they're done. Why are they still there? Because plot needs them to be, because Theo has to get in trouble. Theo gets cut on the leg. He pulls out the sword hilt, and the orc that is there says, "Oh, you have the hilt. Where'd you get that? That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. It's mine." After licking his sword blade, much like the Uruk-hai did in Fellowship. Yeah. Theo runs away, hides in a well, and stays there until nightfall. Meanwhile, enjoy Celebrimbor for 2 seconds, guys. Celebrimbor, who should be the star of this season or future season, should be the central character in a lot of this. Celebrimbor and Femrond are having a nice cup of tea, talking about Femrond's dad. Oh, they talk about Femrond's dad and this and that, and it's boring as hell. It's boring as hell. Okay, cut back to Khazad-dûm, back to Moria. Elrond is trying to talk to Disa about what's going on. He has a feeling there's something going on he doesn't know about. He's Elrond. He has feelings. Fat bitch Disa basically pretends nothing's going on, tells him a big fat lie. You hear the kids in the background again, who they don't bother to bring out because they're not going to make dwarf children. They're not going to try and make them look like dwarf children. We're not going to bother. Disa tells a big fat lie. You cut again to Disa and Durin on a bridge talking about how Disa does a good job of pretending there's nothing going on and putting Elrond off the scent, but Durin warns Elrond's pretty smart. And then Elrond, you cut to Elrond and you get a close-up of his mouth as his elf ears are picking up what they're saying.
The old mine below the Mirror.
Seriously, who decides to do a shot like that? That is freaking creepy. He's an elf. He's so mystical and awesome. He can read lips from far away. He can hear it. No, that's freaking creepy. That is sketchy creepy. Femron the Stalker. We kept going with a lot of names for him after that. Well, Femron follows his lead, finds a dwarf door, utters a password, because remember, dwarven doors have passwords to open. Walks in, tickles around, sees a vein of the mithril. Durin jumps in, yells at him, "I knew you were up to something, blah, blah." Femron honestly didn't know what was going on, defends himself, and gets to the point where Durin says, "Hand on stone, you swear that you're not going to tell what I'm going to show you on your life, blah, blah." Femron bends the knee, bends over, says, "Okay." And Durin reveals the mithril from the first mystery box. Mystery box! Yay! But it wasn't a mystery box. We all knew it was goddamn mithril. Some people actually thought it was an Arkenstone. No, mithril. It was obviously always mithril. I said so during my first review. Durin's saying, "Oh, it's lighter than silk and harder than steel, and we don't know, but it's dangerous to mine." Elrond asks, "What's it called?" Durin mutters something, and then Elrond says, "No, it's mithril. We pronounce it mithril." Elrond named mithril, guys. There you go. Mithril's called mithril because of Elrond. We discover then, like I just said, Durin says, "Oh, okay, it's really hard to mine. We're having a hard time. That's why we're doing it in secret. My father's not really big on this." And lo and behold, the cave-in happens. Oh, everybody's upset. You would think we're going to see what happens with the cave-in. No, scene cut. Big tits Sister McGee getting hit on by Farazan Jr. as she bumps into him, and he basically asks her out on a date if he helps her clean up. Dude, that's smooth. Dude's a player. Mad respect. Picking up those big tits. And now we get to arguably my favorite moment in this entire episode. Not because it's well written or well designed, but because it reveals how stupid the people behind this show are. This one scene, lore breaking. Sauron messing with people. Galadriel compared to Galadriel. It is wondrous because this scene is everything that's wrong with Rings of Power. What's going to happen? We're back in prison. Galadriel, warrior princess, she's pacing around her cell like a caged beast. She's not happy. And Sauron's going to take this moment to mess with her. Because remember, this is Sauron. He asks her, maybe it's time you stopped galloping in like a supercharged colt, head first into fighting. Calls her a colt, a boy horse, because she's Galadriel. She has a penis. Maybe it's time you think for a minute. And she goes forward. She says, you're going to tell me how to fight war? Because Galadriel, warrior princess, is a warrior. Galadriel, she was a ruler. Sauron gets up, shit-eating grin on his face, tells her, no, you're not dealing with orcs and trolls. You're dealing with men. You're dealing with a queen. You have to understand how to deal with nobility, royalty. Again, actual Galadriel, of course, would know how to do this because she was a ruler. That was her thing. But this is Galadriel, warrior princess. She only understands fighting. She's not good with people. Sauron says you need to understand the weakness of your opponent. Immediately, Galadriel, to exploit it. Sauron shakes his head. No, because you have to manipulate them using their weakness. Make them think they have power after you show them a solution. I love it. It's great. And then she goes, okay, I'm listening, using, I think this is scowl number 5. He begins to say, and this is how stupid they are. They think they're brilliant in this conversation when in fact they are shining a big goddamn spotlight on how bad a character Galadriel, warrior princess, is. Sauron begins to list all the bitch-face stuff she's done since they got to Numenor. All the insults, everything. She doesn't even flinch. She doesn't flinch. Does not comprehend that he has just listed her faults, that she is in the wrong. And they don't even play out the scene. They don't even realize that this is an opportunity to have a learning moment for Galadriel. But they don't play up on that. They just have her be tutored by Sauron in the art of deceit and manipulation. They don't take the moment to actually have her go, no, she doesn't learn anything. She doesn't understand that being a bitch, because we're going to get to scenes later on, she's still a bitch going forward. She doesn't learn anything. Basically tells her, you've done all these bad things. Mariel didn't flinch. But then in this last conversation, what did you do? I tried to talk up your right to rule. And then I mentioned the king of the tower. Sauron goes, aha! Aha! The king in the tower nobody wants to talk about. Oh, now we understand if you show Mariel her fear and then allow her to overcome it, she'll be your friend. You realize this is Sauron manipulating her to go in that direction. It's right there in front of you. This is Sauron manipulating the situation, especially with what happens next. Because here comes Pharazôn. Well, not to mention also that Galadriel's a freaking idiot. Stupid. Her instinct is to lunge and attack, not to think. And all she does is barrel ass forward. All right, now here comes Pharazôn and some guards in their best moob armor, the best moob armor Numenor has to offer. Telling her, okay, fair elf, it is time for you to leave. You're done. You're out. Goodbye. We're going to take you to the boat right now. Galadriel shares a look with Sauron, and she looks like she's going to submit, but then she swings into action in awesome girl power moment. You go, girl. Yes, queen. And she does this incredibly weird move that spins the other soldiers into the cell. Somehow these fully armed, well-trained Númenórean soldiers are overwhelmed by 5'0" Morfydd Clark. And Pharazôn and the last soldier are about to get involved, but then Sauron again. Hashtag Team Sauron.
I wouldn't advise that.
I can't very well let her leave.
You could, if you knew exactly where she was going.
All in on Team Sauron. Team Sauron. Sauron did nothing wrong. You gotta love it. Oh no, wait. You don't need to. Yeah, you don't have to fight her. I'm gonna tell you where she's going. But then they have to rub it in after she does her major, have her do wham and smirk. She just had to do wham and smirk. How could I did? I took out these soldiers and I pushed them into the cage. I just pushed them in there. Just pushed them into the cage and locked it. And has to give the smirk to Pharazôn. You would think we're going to go right to what happens next. No. Let's cut to CW time. Big Tit Sister McGee has just finished her date with Pharazôn Jr. Comes upon Isildur moping. He's like, what are you doing here? I had dinner. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, are you Númenórean Coast Guard? Oh, you got kicked out again. Not exactly. He basically tells her what happened that we already know. He tells her a scene that we already know what happened, and she basically rolls her eyes at him. What are you going to do? That's kind of it. What are you going to do with yourself? I'm in STEM. That's it. Again, why are we cutting to scenes like this in the middle of stuff that actually might be moving the plot forward? Because now, cut back, window breaks. Here comes Galadriel. Oh, look, she's got her dick dagger again. Where does she hide that thing? The dick dagger just is there when she needs it. So she's got her dick dagger again. Storms into the king's chamber, saying, Your Majesty, I'm sorry for interrupt, but I got to talk to you. But no, he's an invalid in bed, and there's Mariel. And Mariel now reveals the mystery box wrapped around another mystery box. The mystery box within another mystery box. The mystery box is the king is an invalid. He's frail. He's infirm. He's lost his mind. He's in bed. The world doesn't know. And this is where, during this scene now, they try to explain how bad the Númenóreans hate elves. Why they hate elves. They talk about how the Númenóreans hate elves, but they never actually tell you why. Because Mariel takes Galadriel to this special chamber, King's Chamber, and oh look, the sword of the king. Look at that. There's the sword of the king. Yeah. Remember the sword that cuts the ring from the hand? Remember? Shows her around, giving her a big spiel how my father was... He always was strong in his beliefs, but when he became king, something changed in him. He became more strident. He tried to really push us back to the old ways, but people didn't like it, and they rebelled, and it was strife, and where. And they talk about how people are resistant to wanting to be subservient to the elves, sort of. They dance around it. They don't actually tell us why Númenóreans hate elves. Mystery box, still mystery box. But now we're going to learn why she's afraid, why her father changed, why she's afraid. Muriel's fear. She reveals it, a palantir. And then you get a brilliant bit of dialogue like this.
Place your hand upon it. I must warn you.
I have touched Palantiri before.
But you have not touched this one.
You've never touched this before. Oh, I've touched this before. No, you've never touched this before. You've never handled this before. You've never seen this before. Oh, I've seen this before. You can't touch this. I don't want to touch that. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. The writing is just speaks for itself. Really, it does. All right. Galadriel decides to touch it. She decides to touch it, and she gets the vision, the nightmare that Muriel had at the beginning of the episode. It's a vision of Numenor's destruction. And that's supposed to reinforce why Numenorians hate elves, because they're afraid of their future, that they're being not led. It's mind-bendingly dumb. They mystery box, wrap, unwrap, come back, mystery box. It's stupid. She tries to explain that they hate elves and they're afraid of their future, and we can't do this because you are the herald of our bad future, and that's why I hate an elf. It's dumb. It's so very dumb. And she says, you have to leave. And Galadriel goes, okay, I'll leave. Cut to Bronwyn. After all that, back to Bronwyn. Here comes Racist in Training with all the food. Where's badass teenage Theo mustache? Oh, I don't know. He was right behind me. Cut back to Theo hiding in the well. Orcs are looking for him. They're screaming, find him, find the hilt. Long, drawn out, stupid, cut short. Theo climbs out of the well, tries to sneak out, goes to pick up the bag of grain he dropped while wounded. Stumbles around, gets busted by the orc again, is about to die when his baby daddy shows up. When Arondir dad, because it's his dad, newsflash, it's his dad. Anybody that says otherwise, you're dumb. Arondir shows up, so remember, they let Arondir go. Adar lets Arondir go, but he gave him all his weapons back. All I can do is gesticulate and stupid. He gave him all his weapons back, which will then be used to kill orcs, who Adar loves so much. Arondir kills the orc in efficient fashion, and he proceeds to drag Theo out, and now we get a really dumb chase. Remember I said earlier, Theo gets caught simply because the plot needs him to get caught so that Arondir can save him, and maybe they can reconcile their relationship once he learns that Arondir is his daddy. But you have to have this Arondir trying to look badass. And you know how they try to make it look badass? They slow motion his movements during the fight. Tell me something. When Legolas is being a badass in the Peter Jackson trilogy, is he slow motioned? No, he's not. Because Legolas is a badass. Arondir, well, at this point, he's probably missed second breakfast. Arondir manages to save Theo, keeps telling him to run as he holds off the orcs. And then, here comes Bronwyn. Why are you there? Why did you go do this? Mama Bear gotta save her little cub. Mama Bear's stupid. All you do is add one more person that Arondir would have to protect now. Of course, run. She accomplishes nothing by being there. It's not like Bronwyn showing up helps anything. She's there to look stupid. She solves nothing, adds nothing. Bronwyn and Arondir and Theo manage to make it into a clearing. The sun is rising. The orcs can't go through. And therefore, bam, the orcs they can't capture them. Scene. Cut. We've seen this in the trailer. I wanted to play a clip, but I'm afraid because it's soundtrack, I'll get a claim, so we're just going to talk about it. Jesus singing to the mountain. Why is she singing to the mountain? Because she's asking the mountain to spare the dwarves that got caught in the cave-in for the Mithril. Yeah, this doesn't sound like Tolkien to me. Quick conversation between Diza and Femrond about how if Femrond hadn't been there talking to Durin, he would have been caught in that cave-in. It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo word salad. I said at the beginning of the video, this episode is filled with word salad to take up time. These scenes are nothing but taking up time, because then we get a nice big conversation. Here comes Durin looking all angry after saying, well, first he's happy because the dwarves got saved, but then he's all angry because he has daddy issues. Yeah, let's introduce daddy issues. He's upset that his dad won't let him mine the Mithril. And Elrond gives him a story about how his father was elevated by the Valar. Lore guys, tell me if this is true about Elrond's father when we watch this. We'll talk about this on Saturday. And it's basically Elrond says, long story, I would give anything to have another conversation with my dad, even if he was yelling at me. So don't have daddy issues. Just be glad your daddy's here. More CW bullshit! CW bullshit! Cut to Durin goes to confront his father. He apologizes for being brash, and Durin the Third says, don't worry, my son. Our legends say that our ancestors, when a new king is crowned, we all come in there and give him advice, but I'm here now. You don't have to wait. I'm here to talk to you. I love you. Okay, daddy issues instantly solved. Daddy issue solved. Then they have a conversation about being aware that more might be going on because Elrond wants to take Durin to Lindon. And Durin says, there's got to be more going on. I want to find out what it is. And other Durin says, yeah, you go, my son. You've got it right. You go find out. Okay, done. Done. There you go. What happened here? Talking, walking, talking, daddy issues. CW bullshit! But here's more CW bullshit. We're back at the outpost. Bronwyn and Arondir look like they're just gonna raw dog it right there on the parapet, on the lookout, on the edge of the outpost. They want to just hump. They want to hump right then and there. They just want to go at it. And they talk about what Adar told Arondir, what he already told him. So we get another repeat of something we already know, that either bow or die. Submit or die. Submit or die. That's it. Submit or die. Yay! We already knew this. And she has to look shocked. It's also Bronwyn Barely Tits can go, ooh, wee, ooh. That's it. We're in the end game. We're almost there. We're final home stretch here. I'm speeding through because look, that's all that's happening. It's exposition for the sake of exposition. We're not really telling you anything. And here comes more fake Tolkien crap, more not Tolkien fake lore injected here. Now, badass teenage mustache Theo, he's sitting there nursing his wounds. Here comes Mr. You Don't Get My Rations, the tavern keeper, and he accuses Theo of taking his hilt. Oh, he just happens to know that he has the hilt. How? Don't know. How is Theo even revealed that? Don't know. Just plot needs it to happen because we need to reveal that old man patriarchy here, he's a secret Sauron worshiper. He's a Sauron devotee. And that hilt, it was made by Sauron and meant for great things because he shows off the own scars on his arm, the same scars that Theo has on his arm when he puts his blood into the blade. It's all to say, Sauron's your master. Theo, you have a chance to be a bad guy. That's it. That's it. To reveal that there are Sauron worshippers. You couldn't have just maybe had a cool scene of people worshiping Sauron. Maybe a scene, somebody spotting somebody talking with an orc in the dark. No, he's got to expose himself by talking, you ever heard of Sauron? Sauron. There you go. That's it. Well, now we're finally back. Oh, no, got one more point. Cut to Adar. Again, another cut. Another pointless goddamn cut to an orc telling Adar, we found the hilt. Okay. You realize these past few minutes, I'm just rolling through these things. There's nothing even to complain about because it's just boring shit. And shit for the sake of shit. Trying to make Arondir look cool. Trying to make the Durins have CW father-son issues revolved. It's all CW bullshit and all pointless exposition. But now we're back in Numenor. The final moments. Galadriel, warrior princess, she's being escorted out. She's done. She's done. You see Elendil in his moob armor. And we're going to talk about this in a moment here. After this speech and after this clip, I'm going to talk about how Elendil has been done dirty. You know what? Better yet, I'll leave it for the final recap. Leave that for the recap. I want to get to the recap. I want to get this done. My brain hurts. It's gone on for way too long today. She's on her way out. Elendil in his moob armor. And as we're doing that, we're getting a speech from Muriel. She's talking over. We're getting a monologue over this. And suddenly, the petals from the white tree, the tree that was one day going to be that will spawn the white tree of Gondor, and says when the petals fall, it means the Valar are trying to talk to us. That they're telling us we need to listen to something. Muriel's giving a speech that we are now ready to trust the elves. Suddenly, she's filled with faith. I'm going to come back to that. That's what we're going to talk about Elendil. She's suddenly talking about faith. And here comes Galadriel, warrior princess, right next to her. And Miriel announces we're going to go to the south. We're taking an expeditionary army. But then here comes your agenda, your woke freaking narrative.
The expeditionary force will be made up of brave sons and daughters from across fair Numenor. Who is willing to commit themselves to our Queen Regent's protection?
Sons and daughters. You're conscripting an army. Gotta have the women's represented. There's your Numenorean army made up of men and women. Ugh. In a world of fantasy, it's not unheard of to have female warriors. But you have to legitimize it on the rules, on the ground, the foundation of how that world's built. This show has done nothing to basically legitimize women fighting. Galadriel Warrior Princess doesn't count because they've gone out of their way to overdo it with her. We don't buy it. I'm all for powerful female fighters. I love that kind of stuff. I do it myself. But you have to do the work for it. You have to earn it. This ain't earned. This is virtue signaling woke crap. You're not going to win an army saying you're not going to make a winning army having sons and daughters in it. It's crap. It's bullshit. And on the side, that epic music you hear, it's terrible. The soundtrack for this show literally melts into the background. You don't even notice it half the time. Bear McCready, you suck. You suck, donkey balls. The speech gets finished. That's all there is to it. We're all going out there. We're going to war. And right in that scene, Isildur needs to regain his honor. Says, I will go. And then his buddies go, I'll go too. Well, I'll go. People start raising their hands, men and women, in both there and in the main audience hall. And then that's it. You get a shot of Galadriel and Muriel together standing side by side, and we're going to war. Oh, and there's one shot of Halbrand's free. Sauron's back on the street, baby. Go Team Sauron. And that's it, episode.
And I suppose Elendil here is a runic emperor.
Just a petty lord, actually.
His people are scattered.
One of the most egregious things done in this episode is basically the giant shit that is taken on Elendil. He's barely in the episode, but when he's in it, he gets abused by the Queen Regent. Muriel just takes a massive dump on him. And then, at the end there, and throughout this whole thing, Elendil is supposed to be the symbol of keeping the true faith in Tolkien's lore. He is the one, and those who follow him, including Isildur, are the ones that keep the faith to the Valar. You notice in that speech that Muriel's giving, that's the kind of speech Elendil should be giving. They stole his thunder. They have emasculated him, and they've stolen his thunder. They've taken his balls and put them in their women purse and said, shut up, white boy. Shut up, you white male. Get the hell out of here. Powerful women's in control. It's despicable. It's despicable. And this is the disrespect to Tolkien that we've been talking about. This entire show is continually disrespectful to Tolkien and his lore. I showed you the entire Galadriel escape from prison scene. It's an insult to actual Galadriel. Galadriel, warrior princess, is a dumb meathead warrior who's easily manipulated by Sauron. She's one of the few people who was not manipulated by Sauron. But there he is, manipulating her. Dance, puppets, dance. Look at this entire episode that I just went through. I dare you, in the comments, I dare you, tell me what actually happened. Tell me how this plot moved forward. Really. We started with Galadriel wanting them to go to war. After a lot of insane, inane bullshit, now we are going to war. But what did we actually get from all our characters out of this? Has anybody actually grown and changed? Oh, Isildur, he's trying to find himself. Oh, he's going to regain his courage and his honor. That's not his actual story, though, is it? No, it isn't. Arendir, development there, no. Badass teenage mustache Theo. Not really. Not really. Everything that happened to Theo was done so that Arendir could save him. Barely tits there, Bronwyn. Nothing. She's a bad women leader. She has no development. Femrond and the dwarves. We had some walking and some talking. Some CW deal with your daddy issues. But seriously, what do we get out of that? We had the Mithril reveal. Big whooping deal. We already knew that. Oh, we're now going to move out of Moria back to Lindon for political intrigue with Gil-galad and Elrond and Durin the Fourth. Let's see. What else happened of anything of note? Oh, big tit sister McGee. She has a boyfriend now. She's going to have a boyfriend. CW bullshit. Adar. Oh, what did he do? He once saw Arendir's home. He remembers a river. And he wants the hilt and he's going to rule there. Okay. Nothing's happening. Except a lot of talking and walking and talking and bad slow motion choreography and Galadriel maybe throwing guys into prison and smirking. I don't know what's going to happen next episode, but I bet. Oh no, at one point also there was they're trying to red herring you again. I forgot this part. During Old Man Patriarchy revealing himself to be a Sauron follower to Teenage Mustache Theo, he mentions the falling sky rock, the fire rock. So it's a sign that Sauron's coming. Oh, more red herrings to try and convince you that the wizard is Sauron. Yeah, more red herrings. More red herrings about who's Sauron. More mystery boxes. Mystery boxes. Why do they hate the elves? Oh, they hate the elves because they are afraid of their future. But why do they hate the elves? What do the elves do to them? Oh, why do they hate the elves? Because they don't want, they're going to take their jobs. They're going to take their jobs. They took our jobs. Mystery box storytelling all over the place. We don't actually learn or know anything. We don't know anything. Oh, next week, I bet the Harfoots are going to come back dirtier and smellier than ever. All right, guys, I'm done. Remember, as I said at the start of the video, join us Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel where we will have This Is Mordor Country. I'll be joined by a fun panel, and we are going to tear this apart scene by scene. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you at the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, hit that like button, comment away. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Hopefully, I'll be in one piece. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therentnerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.